Okay, now we are recording, and this is the login or the web page for creating or logging into the KENET Web conference. So this is the URL. So you. Okay. So this is the URL, that is https://conference.ke/accounts/login. Or what you can do is just to type this KENET Web conference login into the search engine, if you're using either Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome. So once you get here, so just a minute, let me just go back. So if I put in KENET Web conference, it will come to this link. Can you see this link? You can raise your hand if you can see admin login KENET Web conference. So you can then do this, sign up for an account.
Sign up for an account.
It will get you here. Okay. So once you are here, you create your account, putting in the title, your first name, your first name, your last name, your username, which will use to log into the system, and then on the email field, you need to put in your email according to the JQuat, that is for the JQuat portal. And then you can then put in your password. You can either use the password for the JQuat email that you were given, or you can choose your own password. That is optional. And then on the institution, you need to choose JKUAT as the institution. And then your designation will be staff. So here, for instance, I can put in so I'm using our COD's email. Our first name is
Yes.
so I'm Turkey.
Kindly unmute yourself. Mute yourself.
So, madam, can everyone see the screen? Okay. Now I'm going to put in a password here. So for simplicity, what I'll do is just put in the QWERTY in small caps.
Doc 21 133
7.
605.
Okay. So
05.
yeah. So our chair is not a robot. And then so I have created an account. So I have adjusted the email here so that you can have 8 characters. So putting in QWERTY 1, 2, 3, and then now I create an account. So we have this image that then appears. So now our chair is being asked to verify the email address. So as she verifies the email address, what she should get is an email such as this. So she should be expecting an email that is reading, KENET Web Conference, please confirm your email address. So once she confirms this email address, she can then sign in using the email, using the username and the email and the password that I used when creating the email address. So once you create the KENET Web Conference account, you can then use your username and password to log in. And then once you log in, it should now get you to the dashboard. So this is the KENET Web Conference dashboard. So in this dashboard, what you see here is on the left-hand side column, you can look at, you can see the meetings, my presentations, you have the calendar, and the other, you have also live here. So mainly our focus will be on these two, my meetings and my presentations. So we have I hope we have all received our the timetable for this semester, and we know where we are scheduled. And so using that, you can be able to create the meeting. So the other thing also, you need to make sure that you have the teaching materials that are going to be using in the sessions. You need also to have them ready in a PDF format so that you can upload using this link. So what I'm going to do first is, so the presentations can be uploaded before you you schedule a meeting, as you schedule a meeting, and also when you are now live, or when you're in the session with the students, you can also upload the presentations there. So, for instance, now I'm going to schedule a meeting. So can everyone see the screen? So previously I had created meetings. So this is what I just created today during the session. So I'm going to create another meeting. So to create another meeting, you can go to the blue link here shown as create meeting. And then you can then put in the meeting name. So for this meeting name, I can then, for example, put in research projects. Now, in the agenda, what I'll be maybe communicating is, for instance, data collection. And then the meeting starting time. So my research projects unit has been scheduled on the 12th, on Friday at 2, and it is running from 2 to 5. So the meeting duration is 3 hours. And then here we have the attendee password. So the attendee password here, this is the password that will be given to the students. When the invite is sent to them, they'll be logging in using this password. But for the moderator, you will be logging in using this password. That means this is the password that you'll be using if you are joining in using the link sent to your own email. So the invite will be sent to the students and also to the moderator. And then what you then do is you create the meeting. Now we have already created the meeting. So what is left to do is to now add the presentation. So for this presentation, for instance, this is what I had presented earlier to them in my previous online class for this for the research project students. That's the public health class. So for instance, maybe I had not cleared with I was using the particular presentation for 2 sessions. So I can be able to upload this presentation as well. But there's a scenario whereby I may be wanting to put in another presentation for the next session. So how I can do this, because the presentation has not been uploaded here, so it will not appear in this particular list. So what I have to do then is to go to my presentations, and then click in new presentation to add the presentation for this class. So I will click on that, and then I can put in a title. So the title again is, for example, data collection and analysis. I can then choose the file to upload. Once I have uploaded my presentation, and remember, the presentations, it is best put in PDF format, as it is written here on the tips, that we recommend that you upload your presentation while already in PDF format. Then I shall click submit. Now I've already added my presentation onto the dashboard. However, I have not attached it into the meeting that I've just scheduled. So in order to attach it to the meeting that I've scheduled, I need to go back to my meetings. And then in this new meeting that I've arranged, I can then click add new. So I go to the presentation column on the meeting that I've scheduled, and then click add new. Then on this particular page, we have presentation here. So earlier on, we only had nucleic acids and these other ones downwards. But now we have already added a new one, which is data collection and analysis. I can then add that one and then submit. So here we have the presentation already uploaded. So after I've already uploaded my presentation, I've already scheduled my meeting. All I have to do now is to send the invite to the students. So in order to send the invite to the students, I will need to click this blue icon that has a symbol of an envelope. So I will click that. And then here we have a field whereby it is written to. So this is much like, for example, an email format as you would expect in an email account when composing an email. So here you can then put in the emails for the students whom you'll be teaching on that particular session. So you can gather a list of the student emails. This can either be the student JQuat emails, or they can also use the emails that they normally the personal emails that they normally use. This could be a Mail or maybe Gmail or any other email account they may be having. So you can list those emails in this particular place. So maybe for instance, what I can do is maybe I can put in an email of myself. That's my email. So here, this is my personal email. So sometimes, just in case a student says that, okay, I did not receive that particular invite, you can put in your personal email address as part of the student, so that you can also go in using that email and then see if you can even log in, so that it gives you an experience of what the student side will be experiencing. And then you can then put in the rest of the emails, whether it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people or students. You can then list their emails there. Then here, the subject of the email that the students will be getting will be KENET Web Conference meeting invitation to the units. And then the email message listed here. They can then join in. This will be a link that will be sent. So you can email this. You can the students will be able to go via this link and then test their connection prior to the meeting. So here they can test maybe their audio, whether they can hear the echo, they can hear what they speak. And then you have the room passcode. This is the email, this is the password that the students will be receiving. And then now the students most likely may not have attended a web conference meeting before, but they want to know how to join into that meeting. They can be able to watch a video that is posted on YouTube via this link. So you can also tell the students about the link, the YouTube link that has been sent on the email, to show them how to enter. And then, so to invite these students, you can then click on submit. So I have already invited at least maybe a student, but it could be that maybe another student surfaces and you had not included the email on the invite. You can still follow the same procedure by going to the envelope and then send them the link to that particular meeting, just as I have done. So using this, we have already created an account. We have already uploaded a presentation. We have already scheduled a meeting, and we have now invited the students. And then now, when the session begins, you can then go to my meetings, which is the link that we are on now. And then now, to get into the meeting as a moderator, because you already have an account, you can just open here this link, and this link will just put you into a screen whereby now you'll be conversing as we are conversing here using Zoom. And then as the student log in, you can just let them log in. Now the students actually can log in even before you log in into the session. With Zoom, Zoom also has that particular facility, but with Zoom you can actually first of all log in, and then you can then usher people in one by one. But with KENET, they can just come in and log in immediately. And then after you are done with the session, and when you open up when you get into the session, what the students will be seeing on the screen will be the presentation that you uploaded. So that particular presentation will be acting as a screen, for example, like a projector screen, whereby you can be able to follow. You can be able to usher the students or follow on with the students using that particular presentation. And the cursor, the mouse cursor will be acting as a pointer on that particular presentation. Then once we're done with the meeting, you can then once you're done with the meeting, so for example, here where you have a meeting has now ended, you can be able to go to this column that is titled Actions. Here, once you log in, you can then see the meeting statistics, but also you may be able to end the meeting before the 3 hours elapses. So to end that particular meeting, what you can do is to press this button to stop the meeting. So such as is here, this button stops the meeting. And then, but after the 3 hours have elapsed, the meeting will normally end automatically. And this graph that shows here is the statistics for the meeting. So for instance, the research project that online meeting that I had last Friday, these are the statistics. So if you click on the meeting statistics, it will show you when the meeting started. The status now, it is offline because of course there's no session. But if you can also log into the meeting statistics, and if the session is still on, this particular status will be online. And then the end time will be shown here, duration will be shown here, and also the number of participants will be shown here. And if there are any breakouts, they'll be shown here. So within the meeting itself, you can be able to schedule what you call a break or even a breakout. For example, you may be wanting maybe a 10 or 15 minutes break within the meeting. You can be able to have a break and then resume. So the number of breaks also will be listed here. Then the attendee list is listed here. And this attendance list is essential, especially for use when you want to claim at the end of the semester. So for each particular session, or each unit that you have, it is a good habit to always download this particular list of attendance and then save it so that you can then print it later on and attach it as part of your claims. So that is it. So we have already done the creation of the KENET Web conference account. We have known how to schedule a meeting, known how to upload the presentations, and then known how to invite the students. And then also we have now been able to see how you can be able to download the role list. So what you have not done is actually to do what you call a live meeting. So I don't know whether we can try do a live meeting now and then see how that meeting looks like. So that's it. Maybe I can stop here. Maybe if there are any questions, one may ask. Yes, Dr. Wilson.
Okay, I have realized that the account is not active immediately. So they do it within 24 hours, right?
Yes.
Okay. So even the students must do it so much in advance.
That is, or the students do not need to create an account.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other?
Can you hear?
Yes. Who's speaking?
This is speaking. Me technique. I just want to congratulate you on the presentation. It's a nice presentation.
Okay.
And my reservation only was the registration of email access, as we talked earlier. In that, students, they can be invited using either their personal email or domain emails.
Okay.
So that is the observation that I wanted also to comment for the lecturers. Whenever they create a meeting and they want to invite the student, if a student say that now the email for main of JKUAT, you can also use the Yahoo, the Gmail, the Hotmail, whichever email domain they are using. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. That was just what it's a nice presentation. We love it so much. We also have we look for some other PDF formats on the lectures. If they feel like the recorded one is comprehensive, you can also share them on PDF forms on how to create and add everything that is required for their presentation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Doc, excuse me.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know whether you will also demonstrate on live execution of that lesson so that we are able to exactly tell.
Okay. So what I can do now is to see if I can try to create a meeting that is maybe starting in maybe the next 3 or so minutes. And then I can then invite someone into that particular session. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So
Hello, Doc.
hello.
Hello, Doc.
Yes.
Maybe you can share your screen now so that we can be able to share a few things.
Okay.
And what Mr. Stephen has requested,
Yes.
I don't know whether it may sustain others who are using personal bundles. You know, for us, we have an advantage that we are in the office. Or maybe we can create it later. I don't know what the feelings of members, but you could take other questions that do not need a presentation right now so that we finish.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Any questions? So I think what we have not done is to actually do a live, or what we call a live session, so that they can be able to see like the kind of interaction that you're having on Zoom, how it looks like on the KENET platform. think that is the interest that everyone else has. So I think what I might be able to do is I don't know if I can get a few. I can get a few emails that I can do just a session right away.
Dr. as you are doing that, I think we can take other, I can allow other questions. Yes? Yes, Doctor?
Yes, the other thing, I just wanted to, if someone can be able to, if someone can be able to volunteer to get, can get their email address, and maybe if they're using, I don't know if, because the KENET platform uses there's no app for the KENET platform, like an Android, like an Android app or app to use on the phone, but I may need to use a laptop. So maybe if there's someone who is now using Zoom on their mobile phone, they can then be able to maybe, if they have a laptop that is logged into the internet, they can be able to log in via KENET. And then we can now try to do a KENET platform, I mean a KENET session in line with the Zoom. So you can type your email on the group chat.
Hello, Doc.
Yes.
You are trying to schedule a live meeting.
Yes, I want to set a live meeting that I can use
To demonstrate.
yes.
So maybe as he's doing that, may I ask if all of us are now familiar with the system? By a show of our hands, who will try? By show of hands, kindly, those who have understood the system. But if we have not understood, just know that Daktari will share the live recording and then you will be able to do it. It is very simple. In the next 2 weeks, I think we shall be talking about other features. So when we log into that system, we will be able to get the other features that the ICT manager said, like record